Get the GoPro really close so you can see what he's doing.
We're gonna come in at this straight angle. Just follow along it and just gently run. Make sure you're not gouging the aluminum, digging in.
And it's not a sealing surface, so it's
it's not gonna matter.
This is the diesel filters. They don't come off and destroy your oil pump. And that's what happens a lot of They don't clean this up properly. Probably not really because the really good. I just see all your experience with this. There's no way I can do this in one go anyway.
Alrighty, so we made it out to the other side. So now we're gonna follow this line really gently.
We're just gonna tee right into even for being in your car, some of this stuff's kind of relative. I had that flick on me. You see anything kind of flicking a little bit?
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So you might come back and you have to touch a little razor where you might miss. Here we go. Just how work at it. You see, man, that trouble swing. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
Bro,
There we go.
that was
So now you have your piece chopped out of there. And basically, you just do that in kind of all the areas, and it's not a big deal to have that leftover in there. It's not going to be the end of the world. Most of the time, whenever you reseal it anyways, you're going to get a nice smush. You want that nice smush.
Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of power sports on YouTube. So today we have to get started on scraping off the RTV off of our timing cover. However, we don't want to get any RTV inside important places. Pretty sure this is the oil pump, so obviously very, very bad to get RTV in there. So we're gonna try and cover, I mean, obviously everything's covered in oil, so it's not gonna be perfect, but we're just gonna try to get a cover down over these spots where you could potentially get something into the oil pump. And obviously you want to make sure you remember to take all this back off, otherwise you're totally screwed. That's not going to stay. This will flush out, so it'll be all right. Well, actually, does it? It's kind of a janky, look at that, that's janky. I can try, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna stick. Nah, it's not gonna stick. Okay. Anyway, so we've got the two main ones covered. We'll just have to make sure we're really careful. So all this RTV has to come off. So the first thing I'm gonna try is what's called a safe scraper. They're plastic scraper blades, so you hopefully don't damage your timing cover. The problem is this RTV shit is everywhere. So for example, we could start, oh, that's an oil galley hole right there too, shit. I don't know how I'm gonna do this one. Just don't want anything in there. Yeah, it's not gonna stick. Everything's so saturated with oil. Okay. Anyway, so we could say start with these here, these little crappy ones, and you just want to break this shit loose. Yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass times a million. I mean, ideally you want it to come off in one piece so you're not getting like this, so you're not getting debris down in the engine. I mean, we're gonna have to flush all this out, but still. This is gonna suck. Yeah, this shit's not cooperating at all. This is not good. All this is doing is causing debris, like causing it to like flake, and that's the opposite of what we want. Fuck. Like all this right here, they used way too much over here. But how do I get that off in one piece? This is fucking awful. I'm gonna need some help. This is actually working. This is a good strategy here. Well, it was. Shit. Crap. That strategy semi-worked for a minute. Man, I feel like I'm gonna have to use a steel blade and just be careful, because this is not working at all. Doesn't help they used way too much of the shit. I mean, they went way overboard. Nah, this is fucking insane. Damn it. Ow, fucking shit. think I'm gonna have to switch to a metal blade. I can see little flecks and pieces of RTV everywhere already. Pretty sure I have that type of blade. I don't? Gotta be kidding me. Fuck. Fuck. Well, shit. Don't even have fucking scraper blades. You gotta be kidding. Gonna have to flush this fucking thing out with oil like right after I start it. Like literally start it, change the oil. Start it, drive it a few minutes, change the oil. And just to make sure there's no RTV floating around. I mean, shit. This fucking garbage is everywhere. Give me a break. Fuck this shit. These fucking engines aren't designed to be repaired. They just slap them together and then, oh, something's wrong with the engine. Too bad. Fuck you. Problem is I have to do all this up there on that side too with all that shit in the way. No idea how the hell I'm gonna complete this task. How would the dealerships even do this? Like the ones that have to do the valve spring recall? Do they really go and clean all this RTV off? The answer is probably no, which is why cars were blowing up after the recall. I mean, this is a lot of work a lot of work. I guess technically I don't have to worry about the RTV that's on the outside of the case, but that would be a really bad mistake to ignore it and then somehow it gets into the engine. Yeah, this fucking plastic scraper's totally fucking worthless. I'm gonna have to go get a real scraper. I thought I had blades. I guess I screwed up and didn't get any. You can use metal blades in this. And I mean, I used to have like a really good, solid, like, I don't know where it went. It's frustrating. There's just places where this plastic scraper is just not gonna cut it. I mean, it's working, it's just leaving a bunch of debris behind. It's just like, it's not cutting the RTV, it's like disintegrating it. I don't know how to describe it to you if you can't see it. This big long bead here should just come right off. For example, like when I'm putting these bolts back in, I don't want to push RTV into the threads and then the threads strip out. I mean, there's probably already RTV in the threads, which is frustrating. Yeah, like this one has tons of RTV in it. This is gonna take days and days. Yeah, like this part here is a metal blade needs to do this part because it's not the sealing surface. Like this is good for the sealing surface, but to do these edges where you're not sealing anything that's just overflow, it needs a real blade, like a metal blade, because it's not going to hurt shit if you scratch it a little bit. Like up here, the plastic blade will be good because I can really scrape. I don't know. I think this plastic blade's bullshit. Oh, look at all that sand back there. Thought I cleaned all that off. That is scary as hell if any of that gets in the engine at all. Bye-bye, engine. Okay, fuck this. I need a metal blade. So, learned a good lesson. This plastic blade, safe scrape, is total garbage. Bleh. Total freaking garbage. Alright, I'll be back with a metal blade.
Hello and welcome to Speed Freak Garage, home of Power Sports on YouTube. This is round 2 for the day.
Oh my god. 3 for me, 2 for you.
Interesting.
So, you guys, earlier in this video, you guys watch me struggle with this garbage plastic scraper. And although there are some situations where the plastic part is
Does its job.
right, in this case, it doesn't do the job.
No.
So Brandon's going to show me how to do it right so then I can come back and do it. Yeah, do it another day because I'm done for today. I've had enough alcohol. I probably shouldn't be using a scraper blade at all. And I want
sounds like fun
I want
to
to
me.
play video games, so I'm too stressed. Like if work wasn't so bad that I come home every day like
Day drink.
yeah, pretty much like
Been there.
you know, I mean, yeah, I come home and and then I pretty much slept all day yesterday and I'm still stressed out because I can't get this work shit out of my head. Like it won't
See,
go away.
That's where, you know what? You gotta just let it go. You do. You
Then
gotta
you-
learn to let it go. You can't let it eat you, man. Work stays at work, home stays at home.
Yeah.
If the two mix, you've got issues.
Yeah.
You've got issues.
Yeah.
So
The girlfriend has the same problem. If she has a bad day at work, I know right away.
I'm with my brother, so like I legit have to leave work because like there's days where I'm like, fuck you, dude. But then you know we'll go eat after work. You know,
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, you basically have to be a two-faced motherfucker.
Yeah.
You do. It's bad. Yeah, because some days I'm like, dude, you're a fucking cunt.
So I did cover the 3 major oil galleys. There's still a couple oil galleys here, and here that I could not cover because they're too like you can't stick
Right.
tape on them. But
So our main thing that we're gonna do is maintain a pretty steep angle of approach here, and also go very slow. So if you feel it like grabbing, you don't actually, because this
You don't
will
chew the
this
aluminum
will
up.
chew aluminum up.
Yeah.
However, if you do a little bit, it's okay. That's what RTV is for. It's for filling those fine gaps.
Gotcha.
So as long as you don't like just, go ham,
Right.
you're gonna be fine. So any kind of little scrapes, don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. And basically, what you're gonna do is like,
yeah, how do you get this shit out of these
well,
corners?
see
That's what I was struggling with.
What you can do is see how it's actually cut in 2 different angles. It's cut at a 45 and it's cut at this angle.
So you scrape both
So
angles.
you're gonna have to scrape both angles.
okay.
And as long as
That's
you get
why
most
this
of it
wasn't
out,
working.
it's okay. If there's a little bit in there, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
You-
okay.
My goal is to get these chunks out because this is what'll break off
Correct.
into the engine.
Yeah, as long as
so-
you get the majority of it off, it's gonna be okay. It's not the end of the world. So first, obviously, clean off just that stuff. It's okay if you got this little
I'll
residue.
get you a towel. So little tiny specks is okay because
That's okay.
that was one of my big ass. Wait, where did the?
You're not ever gonna get it perfect.
That was my biggest question: are the little chunks okay? Because they'll never come off. Like
Correct. And that's okay. You're gonna have that.
especially if they're like filling a hole that they fucked up on at the machine shop.
Correct. And that's the RTV is gonna bind. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that. You can't get it perfect. I don't care how good you are. You're just gonna have to make it with what you have.
Yeah, my OCD doesn't help me when it comes to anything. Like when we start up our drift team, I think the majority of my work is going to be holding a camera and trying to help us get, some publicity. Because if I actually try to work on the car, I'll probably have a nervous
down.
breakdown. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of looking for all these little scraps, and I'm maintaining a good angle. Just kind of go back and forth like that. Be really easy with it. Clean your blade off. There you go. There's a towel.
Yeah.
So as you can see, sometimes you got to scrape in multiple directions to kind of get.
And of course the heater turns on. You're gonna have to talk pretty loud since we're so close to it.
So as you can see, like right here, it's actually filled some of the pitting, and that's not gonna come out, and
No.
that's okay. That is okay. You're
So
not gonna have an issue.
Yeah, you don't want to gouge it by trying to clean it
Correct.
out.
It's not worth the risk of gouging, and
Now what about inside these bolt holes? Like especially see how the bolt hole is actually clogged with, do we have to clean that out of the block and shit or
really,
no?
no, it's not really an issue.
I'm assuming the bolt's just gonna,
It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really care as long as it isn't like actually preventing it from going all the way in.
gotcha.
A lot of times the bolts will get a little nipple on the end of them sometimes.
They
Like if go
did,
through
yeah.
The oil pan or whatever, knock that nipple off and then run her home again.
So now should I should I clean the RTV out of the threads of these bolts? Is that an issue or just the nipple?
That's not really an issue. You can kind of if you want to, but most of the time if they thread in, it's gonna be okay.
So
just like
this is no good.
This right here, just like you can take a
That's
lot of
a
times your
big ass
finger.
nipple. Yeah, it
and
comes
just-
right off.
and just rake it right off.
Gotcha.
And see, you don't want that because that'll actually like act as a cushion and bottom out in the hole.
Yeah.
So you want to rip that off.
And I would argue that if you do the RTV right, you shouldn't get these nipples,
You're gonna get the nipples.
even with.
Yep.
Well, as long as it doesn't leak oil, because that's the last thing I want is to take the whole fucking thing apart and start over. Fuck that. Oh. Had to cut that nipple off. So like the RTV and the threads isn't gonna hurt anything.
No, as long as it can still thread in and threads in fine.
And I guess we'll probably notice when we're working on
Yeah.
it if it doesn't. So while Brandon's scraping the top surface, he kind of already showed you guys how to do that. I'm just gonna really quickly try and clean these bolts up. Which luckily there's only 2 lengths of bolt. At least they did that right. And you know which ones are which.
Like I said, don't freak out if you do knock a little aluminum out of it. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. That's what RTV is for. It's for filling those voids, those imperfections. Because if it was perfect, why would you need it?
Right. Well, I mean, that's the argument is a gasket, yes, a gasket would add cost to the vehicle, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of these cars is they're designed, the engine's designed to last 100,000 miles, but the problem is people drive them for longer than that and they're not designed to be repaired, which is like this engine is not designed to be repaired. I guarantee you they didn't even, you know what I mean, like have it in their head that, oh, maybe somebody might have to replace the timing chain. No, it's like buy a new one, buy a new car. Don't fix your used car, buy a new car.
I mean, I definitely am a firm believer that does play into it some, is the pushing towards
New cars.
a new,
Yeah,
yes.
they.
Just get a new vehicle.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like all this new electronic sensor
Correct.
shit. You can't fix that. If you get in a fender bender and you destroy one of those sonic range finders, you're fucked. I mean, that's $1,000
Yeah.
gone. And then if you don't replace it, the car has a fit and won't let you drive it, you
Right.
know? Wow, that's a big fucking nip. It's one of them, well, I can't say that on the camera. It's one of them ethnic nips. I think that's about the best I can say. No, yeah, I mean, they don't want you buying used cars. They don't want you fixing used cars because they don't get paid for that. They want you to buy a new car. It's sad.
You know what's funny though? Like, even working at a dealership, our bread and butter, the thing we make most money on, used vehicles.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is the dealerships,
manufacturer doesn't want it, but the
'cause,
dealerships
yeah,
are like,
the manufacturer doesn't make money on that
Right,
because they're the ones paying for the warranty costs a lot of times too. So,
right.
which I guarantee you, if one of these engines blew up, then the warranty would probably pay for the engine because it costs more to fix it. Like all the research I did, if I had this engine rebuilt by a shop, it'd cost like 10 grand, and you could get a new engine for less than that, which is what I did. Granted, all the shit's different, fuckers. And that's another thing, the stupid little changes here and there.
Yeah.
Like Anthony was saying, the reason why they probably changed the cam trigger wheels is to give it a little bit more accuracy. And I can agree with that. However, it already made 200 horsepower. Was it really worth it to add 5 horsepower?
Corporate fuel economy.
Or that? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That is
You think that's why?
100% driven. Most of the performance mods are for that.
Really?
Yes. Because the EPA puts their dick beaters and everything, every motor
Oh yeah.
manufacturer.
So explain how you're cleaning this out, because
So-
I was struggling.
Let me.
Wow, that's coming right out. Fuck you. Do you know how much time I spent this morning struggling with that? Bastard.
So
Look at
basically,
that. He just got that whole piece out in one go.
So basically, what
son
you
of
do
a bitch.
is this comes in at an angle like this.
Okay.
So you have to clean the bottom one first and run that around real gently, and then run this 45-degree angle real gently, and it peels it right out.
And this leftovers is okay.
It's gonna be
because
okay.
the new RTV is gonna cover it.
Correct. It's gonna fit right in there.
And I'm gonna do like 3 oil changes. So
So as long as you don't have any like major loose pieces, it's okay.
Gotcha.
You're not gonna have that
So
issue.
just for the sake of
we'll
do
that
this.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a nice.
Because I wasn't really
Good
paying
chunk.
attention.
So we're gonna come in.
Here, hold on, let me try this. I'm gonna get the GoPro really close so you can see what he's doing.
We're gonna come in at this straight angle. Just follow along it and just gently run. Make sure you're not gouging the aluminum, digging in.
And it's not a sealing surface, so it's
Right, so
yeah.
it's not gonna matter.
These are the leftovers that if you don't clean off are gonna destroy your oil pump, and that's what happens with a lot of the valve spring recalls is they don't clean this up properly. Probably because they don't know better, really. I mean, because the Toyota dealership working on a Subaru is probably a really bad idea. I can just see all of your experience with this, because there's no way fuck I could do this in one go anyway.
Alrighty, so we made it out to the other side. So now we're gonna follow this line really gently. And we're just gonna tee right into, oh, I forgot this little piece, I guess. He's kind
This
of stuck
stuff's
in there.
actually kind of, even for being a newer car, some of this stuff's kind of brittle. I've had it like flake on me. You see what I mean? It's kind of flaking a little bit, see?
Yeah, and that's just how the cookie crumbles, literally. So you might have to come back and, touch up the little areas where you might have missed. No big deal. Just kind of work at it.
Yeah, see, I was having that trouble this morning. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
That was fucking pro.
There we go.
That was
So now you have your piece chopped out of there. And basically, you just do that in kind of all the areas, and it's not a big deal to have that leftover in there. It's not going to be the end of the world. Most of the time, whenever you reseal it anyways, you're going to get a nice smush. You want that nice smush. That ensures that all the gaps are filled. There's no air pockets, things like that. So you're going to have it go right back into that again. And that's what you want. Like I said, you want that nice smush to ensure that you have full contact of your RTV. So
cool. Yeah, so I mean, basically, we're pretty much done for the day. Did enough work today, but whenever I can, after work or throughout the weekend, I'm gonna keep scraping and keep filming, as boring as it's probably gonna be.
this is one of those you like sit down with a beer,
Yeah.
drink a beer, and scrape your RTV. Like it just takes a
Yeah.
while and it's real
Yeah.
tedious and small.
Yeah.
So, you just take your time with it, and it's okay. It's not perfect. That's literally what RTV is for imperfect surfaces. So
Cool. Well, thanks for showing me how to do that, Brandon.
no problem.
We're gonna hit up Assetto Corsa now. So
Hell yeah.
see you guys next time.
Deuces twice.
Trying